Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at another, in my opinion, unhinged social media account. Chelsea Smallwood is a woman who created this business brand called The Other Woman and the Wife, and it's interesting. Essentially, it's a support group for cheaters to feel better about themselves. She has a podcast and also posts often on social media to promote this entire thing. We'll be getting into her backstory that she appears to be very proud of as a woman who cheated on her previous husband with a married man, as well as looking into her rage-baity and confusing social media posts, and diving into her website to dissect what she's selling at what cost. Quick disclaimer, this video talks a lot about cheating, especially cheating in marriages. I understand there are complex situations like in regards to abuse that makes it near impossible for one party to safely exit the relationship. So when I make general statements about cheaters and infidelity in this video, just know that I'm not talking about those complex and hard scenarios. Alright, let's get into it. She has this two-part TikTok pinned to her profile that gives a TLDR of her brand and mission, so let's just read through it first. My husband and I are a product of an affair. Hi. Welcome to The Other Woman and the Wife. My story begins many years ago when I was married to a man I believe checked all the boxes to be the perfect husband. But there was something about my marriage that was off, something I couldn't put my finger on. I told myself it was just marriage and how I was feeling was normal. I had married fairly young and didn't have a lot of relationship experience prior to my husband. But then I met someone and my entire world was flipped on its head. I experienced electric chemistry for the first time, and before I knew it, I couldn't stop myself and I was in a full-blown affair. I experienced what it felt like to feel completely seen, heard, and understood for the first time. And then this is part 2. My husband and I are a product of an affair. Being in the affair showed me how truly unfulfilled I was in my marriage, and I knew there was no going back to who I was before the affair. My affair partner and I both chose to end our marriages and begin a life together. It was the best decision of my life. But for years, I carried immense shame and guilt over how my now husband and I started. And I started consuming infidelity content to try and address those feelings. I quickly realized there were very few people willing to talk about it and share their stories, and most of the content out there did not resonate with me or my experience. I felt a calling, a need to share my story and create awareness, understanding, and compassion for everyone experiencing infidelity regardless of what role they played. And The Other Woman and the Wife was born. My mission is simple. I'm here to help you understand your infidelity experience free of shame or judgment, and to raise awareness to start disbanding all of the archaic shame and fear-based infidelity content that is rampant in our society. How society has been addressing infidelity has not been even slightly successful. Change is necessary. Follow to join me on this journey. So that's pretty interesting. Some comments on this video read, "Why is it so hard to leave first? If you aren't happy in your marriage, leave first before you cheat. The damage that it does to the ones betrayed by that infidelity is real and doesn't just go away. Mine cheated after 23 years and it literally broke my soul. Everything about this makes me physically sick. Have the life you both deserve." People shame it for a reason. Always been confused by people who cheat and then need to be validated for their reasons of infidelity, SMH. I also learned via her podcast that her husband was married 2 times before Chelsea. His second marriage was the one where he had an affair with Chelsea and he had children at the time. I don't know how many children, I don't know how old they were, but he did talk about how it was challenging to come clean to his wife and his children about the affair. He doesn't really share anything about his former wife that was bad or wrong in their relationship. He described getting married with her because there was, quote, nothing wrong with the woman, and he, quote, was ready to be a dad.
You know what? I'm ready to be a dad. And here's a good woman here. There's nothing wrong with her. I was seeking something. We just kind of like to start the family, found someone.
He was seeking to start a family and was lonely, and he found her. It's so messed up to just openly put that on the internet because your ex-wife and children can see that. It just feels extremely disrespectful. You already disrespected your ex-wife by cheating on her, and then you add this extra salt on the wound. So he and Chelsea met at work, and apparently they used to hate each other. They said they weren't looking for anything messy, but, quote, the attraction was palpable.
We didn't go looking for each other, and we certainly were not looking to make our lives messy. I think that the attraction was palpable. Once we got past our hatred of one another and kind of moved towards being able to appreciate diversity.
They were coworkers for about 1.5 years and then crossed a few lines. What really killed me is that this other girl on the podcast, I guess she's like the second host, then asks him to describe the enemies to lovers trope.
So describe the enemies to lover trope, we'll say. So when you started to realize that she didn't actually drive you crazy, and she was driving you crazy in other ways. You know what I mean? Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
that makes sense.
Excuse me, why are we glamorizing an affair? In another part of the podcast, he says, I think you were still naive to Chelsea, and she makes a joke, oh, you like naive girls, huh?
I think you're still naive.
Ooh, you like naive girls, huh?
I'm sorry, I'm not about a hee-hee giggle along to your love story about infidelity. Are we supposed to think this is cute? It's just the way they are so lightheartedly speaking about it. If your relationship started based on infidelity and things work out for you, good for you. But like, don't be sharing that as if it's some silly and sweet love story. You should probably just keep it to yourself because there were other people involved that were hurt. And then Chelsea asks him what was challenging about building a family with me, your mistress. And he responds, you're my wife now. You're no longer a mistress. You lost that title. And she says, I'll be your mistress tonight.
I don't know. What do you think was challenging about building a family with me, your mistress?
You're my wife now, no longer a mistress. You lost that title.
I'll be your mistress tonight.
I think it's...
Oh my God!
This is giving you have zero remorse for what you did, zero. And okay, sure, you may think that you truly met the love of your life via affair and that's your life partner. It was the right thing to do to be with that person, yada yada. But at the end of the day, you still broke up two families. You still caused an immense amount of hurt to multiple other people involved directly and indirectly. Why are you making jokes about what you did? And from what I could see on her social media posts, it seems like their affair went on for years. So coming from all this backstory, Chelsea decides to start The Other Woman and the Wife to help people in affairs not feel so alone. Because affairs can be isolating, no one wants to talk to you about it, and there's this negative stigma. I guess she wants people to be able to hee hee ha ha about their affair love stories at the end of the day. Now taking a look at her content on social media, it's all giving rage bait, but I feel like she's serious. One thing to note is that while she says she's forming this community for everybody involved in an infidelity situation, she really doesn't seem that comforting towards people who get cheated on. She makes digs at her husband's ex-wife, like in this video. Remembering when someone told my affair partner's wife about us and he told her he hardly knew me. So I'd post videos of myself with my location to my socials whenever I traveled with him. Like little Easter eggs for her to find so she could say, see, I'm not crazy, I knew it. I knew it wasn't my place to tell her, but I also felt badly that he chose to keep deceiving her. But when she did see the post, she called very upset and confronted him, expecting the truth. And of course, he did some song and dance. Did she really believe he'd confess when simply asked? Facepalm emoji. My advice, when you want the truth, don't ask the person you suspect of lying to be honest. That's just dumb logic and sends a signal that you really just want them to hide it better from you. Which they will. It's like holding their cake over their head and then handing it to them with a fork. Think about that for a minute. Okay, first off, it's like holding their cake over their head and then handing it to them with a fork. What are you saying with that? Can someone decipher that in the comments for me? She's like making her own version of have your cake and eat it too, but it's not making sense. So Chelsea is saying that asking your husband to tell you the truth means you just want him to get better at lying to you? Girl, bye. Some comments on this video read, are we blaming the wife for trusting what her husband says? Girl, you didn't feel one bit sorry for her. They don't care about the wife's feelings. This one absolutely killed me. She has this series where she dances around and reveals things your husband did while having an affair with me. I'm gonna spare you guys the dance sequence because I have to mute the audio anyway, but let's read some of the entries. Told me he loved me and he wished he had met me before you. Told me he was unhappy but couldn't make himself make his kids grow up in a broken home. Talked to you on the phone while he was with me and I could hear everything. Lied to you repeatedly about where he was. Didn't tell you the actual full truth when you caught him. And didn't actually end the affair even though you went to counseling together and he said we were no contact, he just got better at hiding it. And now let's see part 2. Was on a trip with me on your wedding anniversary, telling me how much he loves me and how incredible our relationship is. Set up a bank account with me and hid money there from you to pay for all our trips and to buy me gifts. Took you out with friends and let you wear the jacket I had bought him him for Valentine's Day. Told you about us and our 5-year affair on your birthday because he couldn't take the guilt anymore. Alright, it's one thing to first be a willing participant in this entire affair situation. It's a whole other level of diabolical to then be making content about it, flaunting. Like, what is the takeaway supposed to be? Is this supposed to be some kind of teaching moment? For who? It's giving pick-me energy. If I had a husband and he cheated on me, I would not be running to this woman for help. She also did this TikTok trend that confirmed to me that her previous partner didn't do anything wrong before she decided to cheat on him.
A princess too.
What kind of a princess are you?
Do you have magic hair? No.
Magic hands?
No.
Do animals talk to you?
No.
Were you poisoned?
No.
Cursed?
No.
Kidnapped or enslaved?
No. Are you guys okay? Should I call the police?
So again, you're openly admitting to being a cheater in a relationship that you could have safely removed yourself from before engaging in a years-long affair. That's pretty wild. Some comments on this video read, "The smiling, no tact, tasteless. No, we the victims are not okay. Cheating isn't a flex by any means." She's so proud. She posted this video about how truly traditional marriage is polygamy. First off, I believe she's in a monogamous marriage. And second off, is she really trying to say that cheating isn't bad because polygamy is traditional marriage? You can have open relationships, you can have polygamy all you want if everyone involved agrees. And if everyone involved agrees, then that's not cheating. So you can't even use polygamy as a moral justification for cheating. We also have this interesting video where the title is "When You Notice His Wife is Stalking All Your Socials," and the caption reads, "Sometimes unresolved jealousy, competition, or personal insecurities can drive one woman to fixate on another. Understanding these underlying emotions is key to healing and breaking free from toxic behaviors." To say that she's feeling jealousy and competition with you when you're the one who literally got with her man, you're the one that found competition with her because you competed to steal her husband. Now, there are some positive comments on her videos, and to those people, all I have to say is, why are you exposing yourself for being cheaters in the comment section? Luckily, my faith in humanity is restored by how many people were calling her out. Alright, let's get into the website, starting with looking at the homepage. She is selling a workbook that says, "Stop feeling like the villain." I know we're not supposed to judge books off of the cover, but it's really giving crash course on how to gaslight yourself into thinking you did nothing wrong. Sometimes you are the villain, and it doesn't mean you can't have some sort of redemption arc, but like, you were a villain. Where infidelity is discussed openly, heal from your affair and build a better relationship with yourself. No cookies, no content. Side note, you guys, I swear that Google must think that I'm having an affair right now just by the sheer amount of times I've gone on her website and social media to do research for this video. I'm innocent and you guys are my alibi. Are you a good person who found yourself in a bad situation? I'm sorry, okay, not to say that anyone who's cheated is 100% a bad person. I'm not saying that at all. I don't think most things in life are that black and white, but there's something that bothers me about the wording of "found yourself in a bad situation," as if you did not put yourself in that situation and choose that situation for yourself when you decided to cheat. Take some accountability, please. Learn from my experience. TikTok is great, but I can't help you with content alone. Becoming a healthy, happy individual requires reflection, knowledge, and above all, time. Girly is really out here saying that although she's just one girl that had an affair, she's ready to now bestow all this learning onto you for a price. But she also says, and even better, it's a place for us to all learn together in real time. An issue I have with this is like, okay, sure, maybe you want to provide a space for people who have cheated on their partners, a space where they can come together and talk and whatnot. There already exists such a place. It's called Reddit. If you want a group chat type of thing, create a Discord. All of these things could be very much free. I'm not really seeing what value she personally is providing as a singular person who just went through this once and feels better about herself now. And we will get to the cost of all this. The support you need but can't get from your family or friends. You know what it feels like. Shame, guilt, love, and desire. There are many emotions that come with being a human, and we often focus on the ones we feel like we can't control. Look, sometimes when you feel guilty or ashamed about something, it's because you did something wrong. And yeah, at some point, you can't let the fact that you cheated on someone control you forever. You can still have a good self-image. You can move forward with your life. In fact, you should move forward with your life. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't feel guilt or shame for what you did. Those emotions are what keep us from doing bad things again. The slippery slope that I feel here is that if you're feeling guilty or ashamed about something and you join a community where everyone has the same issue as you, they did the same thing wrong and are looking for some reassurance, then you end up losing any balance balanced take on the situation. Everyone is just gonna rid themselves and each other of guilt because that's the quickest way to feel better. And then you end up dramatically on the other side where you've gaslit yourself into thinking there was absolutely nothing wrong with what you did. It's justified because XYZ, you rid yourself of any guilt or any shame. And now let's look at the cost. $78 per quarter for a community subscription. You get a monthly live community call, a forum to ask unlimited questions, like-minded OW from all over the world, support and encouragement from fellow members. Kind of interesting again that she marketed this whole thing as some community for everyone affected by affairs, but then calls the members OW, aka other women, aka not the wife. It's so clear the bias that her entire branding has. She does not care about you if you were cheated on. I get that therapy can be expensive and it's a luxury, but if you're gonna pay money for someone to help you, maybe try and talk to a professional. And again, this whole community that she's building could easily be something hosted for free using Reddit and or Discord. You don't have to pay to hear someone else's thoughts who have been in the same or similar situation. She charges $98 per quarter for a premium subscription, and you get everything the community subscription gets, plus one-on-one hot seat per quarter. So basically you pay another $20 to be able to chat with her one-on-one. Again, just a girly who cheated in the past and says she's happy in her relationship with her affair partner now. It does not appear like she's licensed in anything. She's not a therapist or a psychologist and doesn't seem to have any other real qualifications for this. It really feels to me like she's just profiting off of people going through hard times. Because while I've never been in a situation of having an affair, I'm sure there's a roller coaster of emotions that you go through. If you're a normal human being, you'll probably end up feeling bad and you'll want to feel better at the end of the day. And I feel like she's taking advantage of those people who just want to feel better by charging them to then just tell them what they want to hear. She has a whole website and business around this, so it gives some sort of like fake credibility. And she's just quick fixing people's guilt. She's basically teaching people how to gaslight themselves like she's gaslit herself. But I don't really think she's even doing this intentionally. I think she might really just be this delusional. And another thing that got me is in the FAQ section, we have this question. How does the billing show up on my credit statements? TOW and TW. Now, why would somebody be curious about this? It's because they want to know how it's going to appear when their partner that they share accounts with sees a charge for this on their credit card statement. So yeah, if it wasn't clear before, the audience for this are people who are in affairs in real time. She's like, yes, give me your money so that I can make you feel better about the crime you're committing right now. And yeah, I know cheating is not technically a crime in the United States, but it feels like one. And that's not the only way you can give her your money. You can pay over $1,000 for a 3-day all-inclusive resort retreat thing. Join us for the transformative Courage in the Fire Women's Retreat, where healing and personal growth takes center stage. Here's what's included: 3-night stay in a single or double junior suite, meals and beverages, including local alcohol, daily yoga, planned activities, transfers to and from the airport, taxes and gratuities. To me, it's giving mini vacation where you hope to feel better about yourself for the bad things you've done. And look, it's one thing to go on one of these after you're already out of your relationship and aren't actively cheating on anyone anymore. But can you imagine someone going on one of these while their partner is just at home unaware? That is sickening. So my closing thoughts. If you did something bad like cheat on someone, you can definitely move on from it. You can learn from it. You can grow from it. I don't necessarily believe in once a cheater, always a cheater, but not every bad thing you do needs to be justified so that you can feel better about it. Some things feel bad because they are bad. The entire operation feels super narcissistic, which I don't like to throw that word out a lot, but that's just my opinion on this. Basically, jumping through all these hoops so that you don't have to actually sit and process the reason you're feeling bad is because you did something bad. You messed up and you shouldn't do that bad thing again. Instead, you get to feel like, oh, I did this because X reason and that means I'm all good. When you start making justifications, it feels like you're not taking any real accountability. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. I am working on an in-depth Nurse Hannah video coming soon, but I will be traveling for the holidays, so the setup is going to be a little bit different for that one. Thank you so much if you participated in my poll on the community tab, and to everyone leaving comments, liking the video. The support means so much to me. I hope you guys are already having a great holiday season and that it continues to the new year. Please like and subscribe to support the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!